Yeah, one of the great things I think about as Alliance Bus Group has come together is to have the inventory that we have not just at one location. And so when you're talking to a customer and really trying to get down to what is their specific need for the application that they're actually utilizing that bus for, is to be able to say, well, you know, I may not have that here, but what I want to do is go look at other locations and look at the inventory that I have available to me. But I also want to understand what's your timeline. One of the nice things about being part of Alliance Bus Group and being really one of the largest bus dealers in the nation is that I don't have to, when I'm working with a customer, that any one of us as salespeople, we don't have to think about just what we have on our lot at our dealer location. We actually can go out and look at, and it really makes it better for the customer because we probably have a bus in stock somewhere in one of our locations that will fit their need. However, the reality is it doesn't always work that way. But one of the things that we like to do, if the customer's timeline has a little bit of flexibility in it, then we want to take the time to actually sit down with that customer face to face and design a bus that does fit their needs. So, you know, it's a bus is not a bus is not a bus. Everybody has a different need, everybody has a different utilization of that bus, and you know, we have a lot of options available. That's absolutely an advantage for the salesperson, and again, that we have so much to offer because of being Alliance Bus Group, having the variety of locations with different manufacturers, maybe at another location that I don't have at my location. Also just having the size of the bus, the capacity. I may not have one at my location, but certainly one of our other locations may have the unit that fits that need. One of the things that all of us need to get better at is really understanding what's in our inventory, and that really takes you know, really daily looking at whether it's going into Infinity and utilizing Infinity the way it's meant to be utilized. Also utilizing some of the other resources. Nick England puts out an inventory report on a weekly basis that we can look at, and we can see every bus identified by capacity, if it's a lift-equipped bus. And again, those are the kind of tools that we need to be using so that we can actually satisfy our customers' needs. From a customization standpoint, it's interesting because to be able to sit down with a customer, and I'm going to again use Keith Campbell as an example. He's been in the business many years, and I think if we'd adapt to some of the simple things he uses sometimes, but what he wants to do is get the customer there, sit down in a conference room and get the customer's input to design that bus. And he will literally take and do little paper cutouts and put them in the model of this floor plan to make sure that he's got exactly what the customer wants. And as a customer, actually, not everybody's really good at visualizing something without seeing it. And so to sit there with a floor plan and kind of say, okay, you wanted the restroom in the bus over here and you only want 12 seats in it and you want a desk that folds out over here, and to be able to go through that kind of a detail with a customer. And Keith did that recently for a bus that we actually shipped out of the country. And so it worked, and again, it's one of those things that I believe really does set us apart, that if we don't have what you want, we've got to remember that we can design the bus. We don't have to stay into this mold of, well, that's what we have, so that's what we're going to sell. No, we have the option of actually designing a custom-built bus.
I recently had a 9-bus deal where it was a shoe-in, had the relationship, and was going to get the bus, going to get to sell the buses. It was a bid, and the customer was informed very late in the game that they were awarded the contract and the deadline to start was just a few weeks away. So we weren't able to build the buses. We didn't have the buses, we needed an inventory. And so I only had a few options, which was, my only option was to look outside of our inventory since there was just absolutely no time to build the buses. Well, I wanted those 9 buses, those 10 buses, and I'll tell you what, I turned over every single rock and thought through every single thought process. And what I learned was that nobody's got inventory like we do. I looked at a lot of inventory online. I looked at every major bus dealership I could possibly think of, and no one has the inventory we have. So, from an inventory perspective, if you've got a customer that needs a bus now, there should be absolutely no reason we shouldn't win that deal. And in those situations, the beauty of them is that price is not the leading factor. So one of the great things that I've realized since I've been here is that just how different all the buses are. I had no clue at how many different customizations that you could do to a bus and how different the layouts could be. And so really started me thinking, well, how do they pick the buses to stock on the lot? And are we picking the right buses and the right stock? And I think we do a great job of it. And you know, for the customer that doesn't want to wait, you know, 10 weeks, 12 weeks to have their bus delivered, a lot of times we can take what we have on order, stock on order, and modify those vehicles to meet the customer's spec and get it to them in a much more timely manner than maybe a competitor could.
Having all the lines that we represent has given us an amazing opportunity to custom fit the unit for what the customer needs. We're not bound by one or two lines. We sell every line that's made except for Goshen. But it has allowed us a unique opportunity to get the customer exactly the fit that they need, exact vehicle they want. You know, single line dealers have to custom fit the customer to the bus. We can custom fit the bus to the customer.
It's a benefit because Thomas, if you're limited to one manufacturer, they may not be able to produce the bus in time, or they may be limited on the way they can build the bus, or limited on the floor plan of the bus. But having the different manufacturers, each one of them fits a particular niche for us, and so there's a lot of benefit that we're going to get from having different manufacturers, from seating configurations, floor plans. As we'll look at later in the demo of the bus, you're going to get bigger overhead storage bins in some buses. Some buses are going to give you overhead storage bins, but they're really not adequate for use. You know, fit and finish and design is different on all of them. So each one is going to bring value to an overall sales opportunity.
We use customer information to help us keep a variety of inventory in stock with the right option content for a broader customer need for quick delivery. However, many of our customers need a vehicle with very specific option content based upon their very specific need. So Alliance, we represent virtually every manufacturer in the industry, all the way from a modified low-floor minivan to a heavy-duty transit bus to an over-the-road highway coach. And so build-to-suit really means two things with Alliance. It means helping the customer get in the right vehicle for their application, as well as us tailoring our approach to the buying process with regard to a fleet plan, fleet replacement, initial purchase, financing. So the build-to-suit aspect of our company is twofold. It's the vehicle, and it's as well as us customizing the sales process to fit the customer's need.